YouTube? I'm James Suit. This is my home recording studio. This is Built to Suit Studios. I've been building this for a few months, and I'm going to show you my first unboxing video of my Soldano SLO-100 half stack. I ordered this from Sweetwater. Sweetwater is amazing, by the way. Zach is awesome. If you deal with Sweetwater, you probably have to deal with Zach. Anyway, I ordered this Christmas Eve, and it is now the middle of February, actually late February, last week of February, and it's finally here. I'm super stoked. This is my first new amp in 12 years. I bought my triple rec brand new in 2008. I bought my 6505 used in the same year. I bought this just a couple months ago cheap. You know, sometimes cheap is good. But I haven't bought a new amp since 2008. And I figured if I was going to buy myself a new amp for my 40th birthday, that I might as well get something that, you know, the originator of what these copycats are. I mean, everybody knows that the 5150 or the 6505 is basically a dead-ass copy with a bunch of cheap parts to make it more mass producible of a modded Soldano that Eddie Van Halen used in 1988. And so, and even the triple rec, the rectifiers from Mesa, are a reaction to the Soldano amplifiers. They tried to copy the tone stack to get a similar sound that they weren't getting from their Mark series that people liked out of Soldanos. So, without further delay, let me start ripping the dang old box open. Go. Ta-da! My Soldano 16 ohm 4x12 straight cab with Celestion vintage 30s, because that's what pretty much goes in cabinets these days, or at least most 21st century guitar cabinets are now the vintage 30s. These have vintage 30s. That's vintage 30s. Those are Celestion Silverbacks, because they were cheap, and I could afford them. And look at how nice and easy this just goes into its new home. That's where you live now, Soldano. Yeah, there you go. Look, it's so happy. Oh, right there. So happy. Fits so nice. Heck, I even got a little bit of room. I thought it was going to be... I mean, it's definitely a different size cabinet than those other ones, but... They're all 240 watt. Like I said, that one's 16 ohm, as those are 8 ohm. So that'll be different. I haven't owned a 16 ohm cabinet before. And now, it's time for the main event. I mean, the cabinet was one thing. We're all happy about the cabinet. It's a nice cabinet. But the cabinet ain't why we're really here. It's all about this guy. The Soldano Super Lead Overdrive 100. You guys got the front. Let's this puppy open up. We got a side bag. Okay, that's how it's gonna work. And to die, we have a Soldano SLO Super Lead Overdrive 100 watt amplifier. That's beautiful. I'm the only person that's ever gonna own this amp until I die. And then when I die, my wife gets to sell my entire collection and hopefully have enough money to be taken care of, because I won't be around no more. But yeah, I'm super stoked. That is gorgeous. I watched a lot of the YouTube videos on this while determining what amp I was going to buy. I really like the Riffs, Beards, and Gear channel. Fluff did an amazing demo on this, and it was really fun to watch. Rabia also did an amazing demo on this, which was fun to watch. One of my favorite guys, Ola, Soldano sent him a 30 to review, and he kind of did a half-ass video. I wasn't too happy with it. He kind of looked like he just woke up that morning and barely made it in to shoot a video before having to send it back out. And yeah, his was just it rushed, and you could tell it was rushed. Let's take a look at this guy. The handle looks nice. You can definitely tell it was put on by hand, because it is not perfect. Like right off the gate, the pitch of this hand, this side is different than the pitch of this side, the way it's mounted. But it's not like a CNC machine with a computer. I mean, it's literally a dude like me who's getting paid, you know, an hourly wage, and drill a hole and mount the thing. But yeah, this entire thing is hand built by a person. You know, I'm sure they use a CNC machine to cut out the faceplate and whatnot and other things. But yeah, this guy is, and all these knobs are supposed to be, I guess, military grade to a degree, as far as the quality, and it's supposed to be for life. Like this guy right here has a lifetime warranty. So, you know, hopefully I never have to turn it in for a warranty. The only time I've ever had to turn these guys in is when I did something stupid. You know, don't put beer buckets on your heads or they will leak and get water on your head and ruin things. But that'll never happen to this. I'm not sure if I'll ever even gig with this. I think by the time I gig again, I will probably own a modeler of some sort, and I will just model my amps and then use the modeler live and keep these at home safely in Built to Suit studios. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let's see what else is in this case. I know I gotta get. Okay, that's our power cable. Let me get a foot switch and a foot switch cable. It's a TRS cable. And it's just a one channel switcher and the effects loop switcher. Pretty nice. Now right off the bat with this thing, I'm not gonna use any effects. I'm not gonna use anything crazy. I'm literally just gonna plug a guitar straight in and we'll see where it goes. Sorry, I don't have any background music or anything. And even if I did, then YouTube would copyright it and be mad, so it's not like I can have any music back here, unless it's my own music. I'm working on that. That's what the studio is for, so I get to record my own music at home and not pay a ridiculous amount of money to studios. Although to build a studio, it costs a ridiculous amount of money. But after it's done, I don't have to pay $50 an hour to hang out at some other dude's house. This is my house. And I'm not even going to charge by the hour for my studio. My studio is for me and my friends only. Invite only. You couldn't pay me to let you come in my studio unless I already know you. Got us some nice Diodario speaker cables. I just started trying out Diodario strings and Diodario cables, and it all seems pretty solid, so I'm going to keep rolling with it. And this is a 16 ohm cab, so I got to put my impedance on 16. Looks like everything's in there the way it's supposed to be. Just slide this guy right on into your new home. Looks so good in his new home. Hit that power button. Oh, look at the pretty blue light. Don't you see the pretty blue light? Let's check this guy out. This is my Soldano SLO-100 half stack. I haven't really messed with the knobs just to see how they roll. That's a pretty nice front end. Yeah, I'm so stoked. Well, I figure the first guitar I use with this will be my workhorse, which is pretty much my favorite guitar. It's not even my best guitar, it's just my favorite guitar. Let me get this shit out of the way. Watch out. Get out the way. There we go. But yeah, this isn't even my best guitar, but it is my favorite. It's my most used. It's a one-trick pony, but it does the job. Alright, YouTube. This is my 2008 BC Rich Exotic Warlock. This is my workhorse guitar. I love this guitar. I play it more often than any other guitar. It just works. It sounds great. It's got a Rockfield fat ass humbucker. And that's it. Just a volume knob. Like it's a one trick pony. It plays guitar. It doesn't do a whole lot of pretty stuff. I think that's about time enough for these tubes to warm up. Let's see what happens. Oh my goodness, moment of truth. And we're on. And that's it, nothing. Let's start moving these knobs around. Let's go to noon on most of this, on the tone. This is my normal channel. Now, oh, it ain't even on the normal mode, it's already on overdrive. I want the overdrive channel, because me, you know, that's what I do. I play metal. This needs to go all the way up. Everybody knows that. And this is my volume. Sorry, I just jizzed myself. That happens. That's so badass. I mean, I'm kind of speechless. Like, I got nothing else to say. Like, it sounds amazing. Like, everything that I wanted and more, almost. The one thing I loved about this more than anything is just the way it handles mids. As I matured as a guitar player, I grew to love mids. Early on in the early aughts, in my 20s, I played a solid state amp with a metal zone and scooped mids. You know, I cranked the lows and didn't crank the highs too much because you don't want that, you know, high fizzy sound. But it wasn't until I started using this that I fell in love with how mids sound and what mids do for a guitar and a tube amp and cutting through the mix. Oh my goodness, mids are life. And yeah, on the triple rec, I even turned my mids all the way. I max out the mids. The mids knob on the triple rec stays on 11. This guy, I kind of went right away with my settings from this, you know, as far as just plugging something in here that I thought would sound good. And yeah, I'm probably going to tweak it a bit. Oh yeah, that's plenty of mids. That's got a lot of great lows. And y'all know what the overdrive knob does. That's new about the 2020 and the 2021 Soldano SLO-100s is they've added a depth knob to the power amp section. And the depth knob just basically has a little bit more control over the low end to kind of round it out a little bit. The old Soldanos, this was a modification that you would have to have done if you wanted as an option. It didn't come stock. Now it's stock. Now I didn't get any mods done to this. I wanted just stock. If I'm going to do mods, I'll get pedals. I wanted to keep this pretty much what it's supposed to be and what it's designed to do. I'm going to use this for mods. I'll probably buy other cheaper amps for mods, but this guy right here I'm going to leave alone. If I want to mod it or have a different sound, I'll just use different pedals in front of it or in the effects loop or whatnot. Speaking of pedals, now that we've got it going, I don't use a whole lot of pedals personally. I use two things. I use a noise gate, and I just recently learned what tube screamers did to tube amps. Being young and poor and ignorant, not a whole lot of people tell you all the things you need to know about when you go to buy a guitar amp. When I went to buy my triple rec, I just had money. I had an inheritance. My grandma hooked me up, and I decided I wanted to go buy a badass amp. And so I went to the guitar store, and you know, because it had the name, that's why I wanted it. It would have been helpful if the dude was like, "Hey man, this is what a tube screamer does for it, because nobody told me. Like, and even then, in my ignorance, you know, when somebody did say, hey man, you need to throw a TS9 in front of that thing, I'm thinking, why the hell would I put a distortion pedal on an amp with distortion? That doesn't kosher, like it didn't sound right. Like, I don't know. But anyway, friggin', yeah, I finally learned, and now I can't live without the tube screamer in front of the Mesa. And I've fallen in love again with my Mesa because of the tube screamer. So that's what I've been using for the past few months instead of this. This used to be my workhorse. The past few months I've been using that, and now, I mean, I've got this. Not that I'm going to stop using any of these. I'm going to have to edit this thing anyway, but these, the GoPros, they like to turn off on you for some reason. Anyway, yeah, next I'm going to go ahead and put my noise gate on this thing, and I don't think it needs a TS9. I think we'll put the 808 in front of it. The 9 is a bit brighter. This amp has plenty of brightness. The triple rec is not a bright amp unless you crank the highs all the way. That's why I like the 9 on the triple rec. But let's start hooking up some pedals here and see what happens. Alrighty then. Now we have my preferred pedal setup. I don't use a whole lot of other pedals. Like, I don't need delays. I don't need friggin' reverbs. I don't need flangers. I don't need phasers. I need a good piece of wood, a magnet, some strings, some tubes, and some cones. And just a little bit of bump in the front. And something to shut it the hell up. And yeah, so let's go. Not that it was, I mean, it wasn't noisy to begin with, so it's not like it had that much to shut up. You can definitely hear the gate in there a little bit. I like to get it close enough. You don't want to overgate it. I just like to get it to where the noise is on. And there's the tube screamer. Let's see how it rolls now. There's not much more that I'm going to show you on this video that, you know, you ain't seen on nobody else's videos. I just like doing things my own way, and hopefully y'all like what y'all seen in this video, and I'm going to try to put out some more. I One of the things on building my recording studio here, Built to Suit Studios, I wanted to do a YouTube channel. You know, I see a lot of guys out there with YouTube channels that are pretty informative, and I got just enough expendable income to blow on gear that I could probably have an entertaining channel and maybe, you know, get a few views and subscribers and see what happens. I really like gear, as you can tell. Very, very happy with this. I'm going to be collecting pedals. I'm going to be collecting more amps. This is just my first demo for this amp. I'm going to demo the rest of my amps. GoPros aren't easy to film on because they will cut you off in the middle of talking. Anyway, I'm going to probably do demos on these amps, even though there's demos that have already probably been done by a bunch of other people. But I mean, I've got to film my own content, so if you like how I've demoed this, maybe you'll enjoy watching me demo other amps that many people have demoed before. But it is what it is. I'll probably be doing redundant, you know, demos on pedals that other people have done before. But most of the time, if you're out there reviewing something or learning about gear you're interested in buying anyway, you'll watch 3 or 4 videos of the same, you know, product before you make a decision. I know I watched about every single Soldano video I could find on YouTube before making the decision to drop $5,500 on the head and the cabinet. And just as soon as I can get these guys paid off, I'm going to go ahead and buy that other cabinet, because there's no way I'm not going to have a full stack. I've always wanted 2 full stacks. Maybe one day I'll get to play on a stage with 2 full stacks. We'll see what happens. I'm not getting any younger, and I'm certainly not playing more shows than I used to. I'm lucky if I get to play, you know, 1 show every couple of years nowadays. But I kind of like that too, because my back feels better and my knees feel better, and you know, I can write songs in my house all day long, and you know, it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, hopefully you like this video. I'm gonna go ahead and spend some time putting my torpedo on this guy, and I'm gonna run some cab IRs and see what I can, you know, get out of it with the rest of my gear and whatnot, and get it ready for recording, because you know, this is just a GoPro mic that y'all are hearing all this from. I'm gonna record with this amp a lot, and I'm gonna let my friends record with this amp a lot. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I would say, you know, hit the like and subscribe, but this is the only video, so you can subscribe, but we'll see when the next one happens. Thank you for watching, and appreciate your time.